So up in New Hampshire, been deer hunting now for, well, we were here the weekend before last, then the car broke down, and basically it has not been going so well. And because we had a full moon, and I don't know, we haven't seen anything. So instead, this morning, do something a little different. We are going to go get some milk. And what we're gonna do, we're out of milk. So we're gonna go from this jar and fill it up from that cow. So that's the plan this morning. We're gonna get some milk.
Matt,
yes, Samuel.
can you put me on?
You're on right now. You have so much egg on your face. You should see this. Go wash your face. That's Sambo.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today? We're a milking cow here at Three Maples Farm. Matt came up, and you might be wondering why I'm wearing a fishing shirt. Because most of my milking gear comes from Cape Fisherman Supply. And if you need their phone number, it's right there. In Cod We Trust. So, milking is a very wet sport, we'll call it. And when you're milking, your sleeves are always getting wet. Matt was kind enough to introduce me to fishing a long time ago, and there's these beautiful fleece jackets, but they have plastic sleeves and they have rubber grips around the rubber seals around the wrist. So they're fantastic for milking. They're made by Guy Cotton, and you can buy them from Cape Fisherman Supply. The other thing is there's these beautiful boots. You can get them at some other local places, but they don't have the nice white ones. The white ones seem to be more flexible and don't break as much. You can order them from Cape Fisherman Supply. Oh, see, Sam brought them over. So there are these boots. I forget who makes them. Oh, Extra Tough. Extra Tough makes them. They sell the similar boot, but they're gray. Or they're black from, I get them at Greenfield Farmers Co-op, but the rubber seems to be different. And when you buy these, make sure you also order the liners. The liners are super comfy. So you'll see in the video that I'm wearing these Extra Tough boots just because they're comfy. They keep your feet dry. You know, you get out there in the muck around the cows, they're clean. And then you'll also notice the jacket, which I can't recommend highly enough if you're milking cows, because your hands are underneath there washing udders and everything, and your sleeves and everything stay dry. They have two different kinds. They have a pullover and they have a zip up. Last time I actually had Matt come up from Cape Cod, and he brought me the zip up. But now we'll get back to the beginning of milking. So when you're milking, first you have to start off with some hot water. I'm going to use this. I'm going to separate it. You'll see I'll use some iodine solution and water for washing the udders, and then I'm going to put some bleach back in this bucket, and I run it through my milking machine, which I've prior cleaned, but I use the bleach and the water to sanitize right prior to milking. And then you also have to have a Mountain Dew to get your morning going.
Have you turned this thing on? Press this.
Yeah, you gonna carry this one today?
Yep.
So I use 2 milk cans. You'll see in the end, one I use to collect the milk, and the other one I use for rinsing the milk claw at the end.
Okay. How about you work it up, then I'll just scoop it up.
First load of the season. And get the bale of hay. Welcome to the cow barn. This is where my cows winter all winter. As you can see right now, the back and the front are open. I know that Matt doesn't usually do instructional videos, but as a person who had to learn on his own, this is just a cover it shed or shelter logic, or I'm sure you can get whatever. If you're gonna do this, I would recommend that you buy just the top, not the ends. If you pan out, you can sit, Matt can show you. So I made sliding doors that I close the ends up on the winter time. It's almost December 1st right now, end of November, 20s at night. The cows are absolutely fine with the ends open. If you close them up too early, it just holds all the moisture and they actually end up having lung issues. I let them sleep outside at night right now. In a week or so, I'm going to put an end on the other end of the barn. I have a window, and most of the time I just leave the door open. But the secret to these cover it sheds, most people can't get these things to last more than 2 years. This one here is 8 or 9 years old. If you look inside, Matt can show you, this is zip tape. So anytime I get a cut like this little cut here, I immediately cover it with zip tape. The zip tape actually holds it and repairs it, and I've had no issues with the shed. I mean, it rips, it does all kinds of things, but you put the zip tape on it and it works great. We finished up most of our other chores beforehand, you know, cleaning up some poop, watering the cows, getting the hay, all that kind of stuff. Now we're gonna get into actual milking, and my son is sitting on top of the cooler I made. Maybe Matt will make another video and you can go to the link up here or up here to see how I made this cooler. But basically I just took a cooler, put a plug in here, put a thermo switch and a light bulb, and none of my milking supplies freeze during the winter. So there's two things that I use right now. I have a rag that I keep in here. This is iodine, so I take a thing of iodine, I put it in my washing bucket, and then you see I have bleach there. So then I take, watch out Sam, I just take and mix, this is what I'm going to wash the cow's udders with. Mix some water, and I put my lid on there. And then I take a little bit of bleach, because I've already washed my milk machine and everything, but when I come out I just rinse it with a bleach water mix just to make sure everything's sanitized. Now I hook up, I've mounted my milk machine overhead in here, so it's just out of the way. Hook that up to the vacuum side, turn on the pump. I got a vacuum now, and I hook it up to my milk machine.
Louder.
I hook it up to my milk machine. This is what causes the vacuum to build in here. If Matt brings the camera in close, you can hear the surge going back and forth. So there's a valve in here that goes back and forth, and that's what actually switches the suction from teat to teat. Now I put this in, and Sam and the kids love doing this part. So you just push down the vacuum, and I was taught you push it down and then you let it shut it off so it surges a little bit. So as you see, the milk or the bleach water goes through this, collects in the bucket, and this one is actually just surging air back and forth. So that's what's actually doing the milking on the cow. So now that that's done, suck all that out. I take the vacuum line back off. I store it over here and shut the vacuum pump off. And now I take and I rinse the top of the milk machine. Oh.
Can I help?
No, not today, but watch out because you're right in Uncle Matt's shop. So I just rinse the gasket, splash around, rinse some bleach water in there. The dog comes in thinking that it's actual milk. Put some milk in, or bleach water on there. Put the gasket back on, and now I hang this up. And I let the bleach water drain out of this is the bucket that we're gonna collect the milk in. Now, I don't give my animals a lot of grain. I just give them grain to bring them in every day. And I give the milk cow a little bit more grain so that she's in a good mood when I'm milking her. You can see I put down some fresh hay for her. Here is her grain bin. A lot of times they will hear me making the noise that I'm milking, you know, the vacuum pump and things coming on, and they'll come meet me. But when that doesn't happen, we have a bell, and Sam will show you that we ring the bell and the cows actually come running because they're trained to the grain.
You see the cows way back there? I'm putting it up on the selfie stick. Look at them way back there in the field.
I hope you got that.
I did. So the cows are way out in the back pasture, and I think I got some footage of them, but as soon as they start ringing that bell, here they come.
This is a 14% cow mix dairy feed. It's got molasses, oats, corn, and then this is basically ground corn, but the guy custom grinds it, and if you look, it's actually got like flour, corn flour in it, because the finer you grind it for your cows, the more they digest. In the wintertime, sometimes I'll add a scoop of regular whole corn, because the whole corn, that cow burns more energy to break down. But when you feed whole corn, you're basically just feeding the turkeys out in the field, because the turkeys come break up the cow poop and eat it. This is just to get her in here. Give her that. And then I just made this custom headlock here. She really doesn't need it, but when she's just fresh, she needs it because she's gone a couple months without milking. Now I go outside and I give my beef cows just a little bit of grain so that they know to come when the bell rings. Because if they don't know to come when the bell rings and you get a cow out, it's very difficult. But if you have them trained to a little bit of grain every day and you ring the bell, you saw how they get super excited and they come running. Now I give her the full bucket of grain. That keeps her settled for a couple minutes. So this is the important part about cow milking. Sam, why don't you back up? The important part of the milking is getting the udders clean. On a big dairy farm, they are cleaner usually, but my cows go out and about and they sleep outside, and at night they poop. And so I use this iodine water that you saw earlier. See how it's like sticking on her? You gotta scrub it off. But basically I get some water on it because it breaks it up. It takes maybe 3 or 4 minutes to wash her. But you gotta wash her, and then you'll see in a couple minutes I'll just take that iodine dipper and I dip the teat to sanitize the teat. So this is what I was talking about with that guy cotton jacket. See the plastic? So when it's 20 degrees outside and you're out here milking and you're using warm water and it splashes on your arm, and it gets cold, it makes you want to instantly quit milking a cow. But with this jacket, it makes it super nice and actually pleasant.
Plug for Guy Cotton.
Plug for Guy Cotton. If Guy Cotton wants to consider me a nice friend and send me free Guy Cotton outwear, I will more than happily accept it, because their stuff is pretty awesome. All right, so here's the next thing: is you put your iodine in here after you've washed the cow, and then you dip each teat in there to sanitize the teats, and let it drip for a second, and then you do what's called stripping. So you just take and hand milk a little bit, and when you're hand milking,
hold on, I can't see the hand milking. We come around this side.
Uncle Matt, I can.
Okay, you're getting the hand milking? Good.
you're getting the hand milking, so you have to strip each teat like that. Get a little bit out, and then I take a clean white paper towel. You see it's white because this is how I double check to make sure I actually cleaned her up good, because when I wipe her down, you see that the paper towel just looks iodine-y. I can show you what it would look like if you...
It would be manure-y.
Yeah, there's a definite color change if you somehow, when you were doing it, you missed a spot and you got manure left on there. See? Like that is where I just bumped her leg a little bit. All right, so now it's gonna get noisy. We're ready and prepped for putting the milk machine on, but you're gonna hear a groan of the milk machine. So Matt's probably gonna have to do voiceover during the milk machine part.
So at least I don't have to do your voice. Or you just yell while you're talking.
All right.
Start it and stop it again.
You ready, Sam? Okay. So now we're milking. We just hook the milk machine up to each teat. And in a second, on the big hose, you're going to see the milk's going to start flowing. So there it is. Now she's giving us her milk. And if you look up at the top, you see it going into the can. So right now my cow,
Hold on.
she had her calf in July, end of July. And I just leave the calf on her, and we just take the excess milk. But when I bring her in and we close up the barn for the winter, I'll separate the calf at night, and I'll go back to getting about 2 gallons of milk a day. Whereas right now I get between half a gallon and a gallon, because the calf is just drinking it all.
Do they ever bob a cow's tail to keep it away from the udders?
They do. And the other thing, sometimes, so my cows, they're used to me milking them, but I've had other friends milk them, and I came back and their tails were all trimmed up, because they'll swish their tail at people that they don't know and just basically be pains in the butt.
John, how much is this little unit up here, the little vacuum pump?
So the vacuum pump and milk machine,
Hold on, how much?
you get the whole thing, the milk can and the milk machine. It's basically used is about $1,000. You can buy it, you know, brand new, but you're gonna pay a lot more. So $1,000 seemed good to me. I just bought it, placed all the hoses.
How do you like this girl? Ah. So that's the full udder, or fairly full udder?
Yeah, it's a pretty full udder. And I pull down on these because she will hold back the milk for her calf, but if I pull down, it actually gets more milk out.
Really? She'll try and hold it back for the calf?
She definitely will, and she actually has the ability to hold back the good milk, so like when I have her in here in the wintertime and the calf's separated at night, she'll hold back the cream. I mean, we'll get some cream in the milk, but she'll hold back the cream. So then as soon as so you'll see at the end it'll be all dried and bagged up, so it just looks like a wrinkly purse. But as soon as she walks away, the milk that's stored up in the upper part of her udder will drop down. You can see how it's bagging, how it's getting wrinkly already.
Oh yeah, I see that. Neat.
I'm one of the cameramen.
All right, you ready? So that's an empty cow there. So now you just take and you shut the vacuum off on the bottom of the claw. It stops sucking on her teats, and you just take the claw off, let the hose drain,
Look at those.
suck out the milk,
Look at them.
and then take the milk can out of the way. Now I let my cow go. So now that you've milked her, I just dip her in iodine again before I set her free so that she doesn't get an infection, because that's very important. You don't want your cow to get an infection in her udder.
I think that she's locked in.
Hey, Snooky.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Come on out of the way, Sam. You ready?
Yep, we're on.
And go back with your friends. Next.
And she's off.
And cut.
And
Is she pregnant again?
no.
Just bloated?
It's called hay belly because they eat mostly
Hey,
hay.
guys.
Now you got to rinse out the milk head, but this is your first opportunity to see. There's the milk. So that just came out of her.
Nice.
When she's first fresh, she can actually fill this whole jar full of milk. And because the calf is so new, the calf doesn't drink any of it, really. The calf drinks a little bit. Right now, the calf's probably drinking, I would say, 6 gallons of milk a day. So,
Stealing your milk.
stealing my milk. But we'll get back to stealing his milk. The lighting's just right. Also, if Blendtec would like to sponsor me, I love it. I love my Blendtec blender, but the other thing is the pitcher or whatever you call this thing makes a great pouring spout for getting into these jars.
Perfect.
Blendtec.
All right, so here we got the milk. Fresh. This milk's been out of the cow for like, I don't know, 4 minutes, and I'm gonna try. I've never tried warm milk before, but we're gonna try it. So that's an ambitious amount.
Doesn't get any fresher
It
than
does
that.
not. But I'm a big milk fan. Oh, that's pretty fantastic. It would be better cold, but it's creamy.
Hey,
I never
Jack's
thought I'd
here.
like warm milk, but it's creamy. It's good. All right, so we went for milk.
Cows to bottle to human.
To human. All right, that was our farm to table milk video. Like I said, we've been up here deer hunting. It just has not broken our way. We haven't seen anything except for at night. We're seeing hundreds of deer at night, nothing during the day. It's awful. But so instead we filmed that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do, drop a comment and say you liked it, because John's been thinking about filming on his farm, and so I kind of let him roll and give all the information he wanted to, and talk about how he milks and stuff. If you guys liked it, please put a comment in and say, yeah, we want to see more stuff like that. Maybe we'll film some more up at the farm, or maybe John will start filming on his own. All right, like and subscribe. See you in the next video.